So this is just a nice, short, simple pregnancy yoga sequence that you can do at home. So just make sure you've got a cushion and then place it on your mat if you've got a mat, don't worry if you don't. And we'll sit on the cushion with hips raised but feet on the floor in a comfy cross-legged or any comfortable position. Rest the hands on the knees and close your eyes. We'll just start with our 4-6 breath. So inhaling for 4 and exhaling for 6. And then just keep going in your own time, just for a couple of breaths. So when we extend our exhale, it really soothes the nervous system, bringing down levels of cortisol, the stress hormone. So just let yourself arrive in the space, relaxing the shoulders and relaxing the jaw. And sliding your hands towards your bump or wherever you feel that your baby is. And just take a moment to bring your focus inward towards your baby as they rest here under your heart. Opening the eyes, just bringing your left fingertips down to the mat. I'll mirror you. And then the right arm reaches up and over, keeping both sitting bones on the ground, on your cushion. Really lovely stretch through that whole right side. And then we're swapping over. So right fingertips come down, reaching up and over. Just breathe into all this lovely space that you're creating for your diaphragm. And then coming back to center. We'll bring both knees together to one side. Remove the cushion, you won't need it now for a little while. And then just walk round into your all fours position. And in all fours, we just want a feeling of hugging the bump in. So that will be quite a subtle feeling. From here, we inhale, lift the head, open up the chest, just lengthen through the tailbone. Exhale, rounding through your spine, drop the head down, drop the tailbone. Inhale, we lift, lengthen and open the chest. This time as we come into our cat, start to swoop your hips back with that rounded spine. You might need to widen your knees to accommodate the bump. And then coming forwards onto forearms as we come through with the chest. And lift back up into your cow, so that's just the chest open, head lifted. I'll just widen my knees to show you. We'll exhale, round through the spine, draw your hips back. You might only come back to here, that's brilliant. And then placing the forearms down, we just slide through one more of these nice flows, keeping the movement nice and fluid. Drawing back, lovely stretch through the shoulders and the spine. And then coming back into our all fours. Ready to stand, we tuck the toes and just walk your hands back onto fingertips. Press into the fingertips and the bottom and the bump always lift first. As we walk slowly back, keep your knees bent and let your head drop down in a nice relaxed position. Relax the arms. And then slowly we slide up, maybe placing the hands on the thighs, all the way up to our standing position. Roll your arms back. Have a nice exhale, sigh. Inhaling, drawing the arms up. Hands meet in Namaste and we come through that heart center. Sliding over the bumps, over the babies and down the thighs. Slowly walk your hands out and drop your knees down. Just keep your toes tucked for a moment here and have a really lovely rock back and forth, stretching all the fascia, that connective tissue in the feet, in the arches. And then untuck your toes. Look out to the right hand side of your mat. Step your right foot out to the outer edge with toes turned out. And we'll just start to circle around with the knee so the whole body will follow. So these circles might be quite small, especially if you've got pelvic girdle pain, just keep those quite small and controlled. Otherwise you can start to bring them a little bit bigger if that feels okay on your hip. Changing direction now of the circle. Just feel that unwinding through the hip, and that will help to unwind the lower back as well. Coming back to center, press into that foot and we lift all the way up on an inhale. Let the shoulders drop on an exhale. Just bringing the right forearm to the right thigh. We're going to release this left shoulder, so the elbow on the left is going to be the thing that's leading this circle. Left hand is floppy, and then we start to circle around with that left elbow. So making as big circles as you can. Just 2 more of these. Inhale to bring it up. Exhale, it comes down and releases. 1 more on this side. And relax. And then we just plant our hands into all fours. Step that right knee back and the left foot steps forwards. From there we're coming straight into these lovely big circles, or smaller if you've got PGP. And if your wrists get tired at any point, you can just be up on fingertips or fists. Changing direction of the circle. And if you're doing this in your own time, you can just do more of these and pause the video. Coming back to center with your hips, pressing into that left foot as we inhale to lift and exhale, drop the shoulders down. Left forearm comes onto that left thigh and our right elbow starts to come back. So the right hand is floppy on this side. 2 more like this. Final one. Exhaling to release it down. And then plant your hands down and step back to all fours. Tucking the toes, walking your fingertips back. As we lift the bottom and the bump up first. You can have really nice bent knees here as you drop your head down, relax everything out. Slowly roll up, and the head is always the final thing to lift. And we just roll the shoulders back and down at the top. Coming straight into our standing postures. So just walk to the front of your mat or your space. Bring hands together at your heart center, and we're bending into the knees, shifting your weight into your right leg as you peel the left foot off and then send it back. Finding your high lunge with arms lifted, shoulders relaxed. And we just do some gentle little pulses here. If it feels too much of a stretch through this hip flexor and lower abdominals, then have that knee quite bent at the back. And then just pause in the middle. As we turn to our left, open up into our warrior 2. So we've got the front knee tracking over the front toes and the back foot is 90 degrees. Relax the shoulders as much as you can. Flip the front palm and we just lift the hands up to the ceiling. The back hand relaxes on the back thigh. Breathe into all this lovely space you're creating for any systems that might be squashed by the baby, digestive, respiratory. And then come back through your parallel arms and straighten your front leg. Relax the arms and the leg. Turn to the long edge of your mat, so that'll be to your left. And we've got our toes turned out, ready for our goddess. So we're going to start to bend into our knees. Pelvic girdle pain, you can bring your stance a bit shorter, so feet will be closer together. Otherwise, hands back at heart center, bending into the knees, keeping the spine long and the chest lifted. Knees track over toes, just go as far as feels okay for you. And breathe. Slowly lift and relax everything. Make sure to swivel your hips to the front now and step your back foot to the top. Hands back in Namaste as we bend into both knees. Shift our weight into our left foot, peeling the right foot off. We send it back and we find our high lunge on this side. It might feel different, so just bring your focus to that hip flexor here on the right. You might need to bend your back knee a bit more if it feels like too much of a stretch. Coming straight into these pulses, breathing through them. And then you turn to your right, so you're coming to your warrior two on the other side. You stay here, but I'm just going to swap so you can see the front of me. So left leg at the front is bent, right leg at the back straight. Keep your legs really strong. We just flip the left palm at the front. Reach the left palm up, back hand. Your right hand drops down to your back thigh. And breathe into that space you create for your diaphragm on the left. Come back through parallel arms and then just relax everything as you turn to the other long side of your mat, so turning to your right. And we're just doing exactly the same, coming down into our goddess. Maybe here you do a couple of pulses, maybe not. Both are very strong. Just keep that breath moving. And then maybe we lift one heel and place it down. And then the other heel. Place it down. And come all the way back up. Give everything a shake out. And turn to the front of your mat. And step your back foot to the top. Again, shaking anything out that needs it. And we're meeting at the back of our mat in our Tadasana, our mountain pose. Shoulders relaxed, feet hip distance apart or a bit wider. Coming down to relax now, so we're inhaling, send the arms up, exhale, coming through that central channel, over the babies and down the thighs. Walk out to your all fours, drop your knees. Any other little movements that you want to take here, so swaying the hips side to side can be nice. Maybe you want to come into a child's pose, bringing your knees wide, big toes together. Stretch your hips back and the hands forwards. You can always rest your head on your cushion or your forearms. One more deep breath here. And then slowly just transitioning through all fours. Bring your knees together to one side. Drop the hips down and just swing your legs around. And we're just going to do our butterfly before we come to our relaxation. So soles of the feet together, grabbing onto ankles or shins. And all we do is tuck our chin here to our chest. Releasing through the back of the neck and the spine. Let's take a long inhale through our nose. And sigh out of your mouth. Then blinking the eyes open. We just bring both knees together to one side. And this is now just for you, this relaxation. So do whatever you need to be comfy. You can get on the sofa, grab your cushion again. And I would recommend having a cushion under your head and one between your knees. So when you come into that side lying position, you can be really cozy. One of each, maybe a blanket over you. And either staying here or I'm just going to show you the pregnancy safe inversion that you can do at home on a chair or a sofa. So I'll just grab this chair quickly. If you're in second trimester, you just need to have your head raised. If you're in your third trimester, you want your shoulders and your head raised, so you'd probably have a cushion for the shoulders and then an extra 2 cushions for your head. If you know you feel a bit faint on your back, I would just stick with the sideline. Otherwise, this is a nice one just to come into, even just for a minute or so. It just soothes the nervous system, and it's a nice way of being on your back if you haven't been for a while. So come down from this mermaid position, sliding down, rolling onto your back. So either shoulders and head, or just head is supported, and then we're just lifting our legs up. So you've got your shins and your calves really supported by either a chair or a sofa. And you can rest your hands on your bump. So you want your head lifted, or shoulders and head lifted, and take your time to get nice and cozy and comfortable here. And then here you can just come back to your 4-6 breath. So you're exhaling for 6, or just any lengthening of the exhales is brilliant. Or your golden thread if you have one of those from class. And if you are in the inversion, stay here for as long as you like, and then to come out you slowly roll onto one side, and you can just have a few moments here on your side. And you can just come into one of our body scans that we do, which is simply picturing a warm light coming through the crown of your head and working its way all the way down your body in your own time. Or if you don't like visualizations, just focus on each and every muscle in that scan down through the face, into the shoulders, etc. Releasing, softening and relaxing. And once you get towards your pelvic area, just focus on that feeling of calm, or that light, just working its way down towards your baby, and surround your baby with that calm and positive light or feeling as you rest here together for as long as you like.